I never thought the woods could betray me. They'd always been my sanctuary, a quiet place where the world's noise couldn't reach me. When you grow up in a small town, the forest is more than just a collection of trees. It's a second home. My friends and I practically lived there as kids. We built forts out of fallen logs, carved our names into tree trunks, and pretended we were explorers charting some undiscovered land. But the woods keep secrets, and sometimes those secrets wear familiar faces. It started one Friday night in October when the air had just begun to bite with cold. My best friends, Ethan, Sarah, and Matt, had planned a last camping trip before winter really settled in. We'd done it dozens of times before. Pitched a tent by the river, roasted marshmallows, shared ghost stories. But that night, the forest didn't feel like it usually did. Even while the sun was still hanging low, bleeding orange light through the trees, I felt uneasy. The woods were too quiet. Not the peaceful kind of quiet either. No crickets chirping, no owls calling, not even the wind shaking the branches. Just silence, thick and heavy, like the forest was holding its breath. I remember looking at Ethan and saying, half joking, "It's like the woods are waiting for something." He laughed it off, tossing his backpack on the ground. "Waiting for us to light the fire and open the beers, maybe." The others chuckled, and I tried to shake it off too, but a pit had already formed in my stomach. By the time we got the tent set up, night had fallen fast. The darkness in those woods didn't feel normal. It wasn't just the absence of light, it was heavy, suffocating, like something pressing against your skin. The fire was the only thing that kept it at bay, throwing our shadows long against the trees. We did what we always did, shared stories. Ethan told the one about the hitchhiker with the hook hand. Sarah brought up the old urban legend about the girl who answered her phone and heard her own voice on the other end, screaming. Matt, always the skeptic, rolled his eyes and reminded us that ghosts weren't real. Then Sarah grinned and said, "Fine, let's tell a real story. Remember the one about the voice in the woods?" I froze. I did remember. It was one of those local legends every small town has. The story went that sometimes, when you were deep enough in the woods, you'd hear someone calling your name. Usually it sounded like a friend or a family member, but it wasn't them. If you followed the voice, you'd never come back. People said it was a spirit or a demon or just the woods themselves luring you away. We all laughed nervously, pretending it was just a silly story, but deep down, the silence around us made it hard to dismiss. Around midnight, Matt said he was going to collect more firewood. He grabbed a flashlight and wandered off. We stayed by the fire, watching the sparks climb into the night. 10 minutes passed, then 20. Still no Matt. "Should we check on him?" Sarah asked, her voice tight. Ethan shrugged. "He probably found a fallen tree or something. You know how he is, always trying to drag back half the forest." But then I heard it. "Guys, help! Over here!" It was Matt's voice, panicked, desperate, echoing from deeper in the trees. We all jumped up. Sarah grabbed her lantern and Ethan took a flashlight. We called back, shouting his name. "Matt, where are you?" His voice came again, closer this time. "Hurry! I need help!" We ran. Branches whipped against my arms as we stumbled through the underbrush. The light from the fire behind us dimmed, swallowed by the dark. "Matt!" I shouted. Then we saw him. Or at least, we thought we did. He was standing between two trees, just barely caught in the edge of Ethan's flashlight beam. His face looked pale, stretched, but his lips were curled into this too wide smile. "What the hell happened?" Ethan asked, stepping forward. But something wasn't right. His smile didn't move. His chest didn't rise or fall. He was just standing there, grinning, his head tilted slightly too far to one side. Then Sarah screamed, because Matt was behind us. He stumbled into the circle of light, arms full of branches, looking confused. "Why are you guys yelling?" I felt my blood run cold. We turned back toward the trees, but the smiling figure was gone. We didn't sleep that night. We huddled close to the fire. Every snap of a twig made us jump. Matt swore he was just a few yards away, that he never called for help, but we'd all heard his voice, every one of us. And I'll never forget that grin. By dawn, we were exhausted, but relieved. Nothing else had happened after the figure vanished. We packed up quickly, eager to leave the woods behind. But as we walked back along the trail, I kept hearing faint footsteps behind us. Every time I turned, there was nothing. It wasn't until I got home that the real terror set in. That night, as I lay in bed, my phone buzzed. A new voicemail. No missed call, just a voicemail. I pressed play, and my blood turned to ice. It was Matt's voice, panicked, desperate. "Hurry! Over here! I need help!" The exact same words we'd heard in the woods, but the timestamp said the voicemail was left just 5 minutes ago, and Matt was home, asleep in his own bed. That was only the beginning. For the next week, I kept hearing things. When Sarah called me one afternoon, I heard her voice echoing faintly in the background before she even spoke. Ethan came over one night, and as we sat in my room, I heard his voice whisper my name from the closet. We tried to rationalize it. Stress, paranoia, maybe someone was playing a cruel joke, but deep down, I knew. The woods had given something back. Something that wore our faces. Something that had learned our voices. And it wasn't done with us. The last night I saw all of them together, we decided to go back. To prove it was just in our heads. To face whatever it was. We returned to the same spot. Firewood in hand, lanterns lit. The air was heavy again, like the forest knew we were back. Then we heard it. All at once. Not just Matt's voice this time, all of ours. "Help! Over here! Hurry! Come closer! It's me! Don't leave me alone!" Our voices overlapping, echoing through the trees. And then they stepped out, one by one. 4 figures, each wearing our faces, but their skin looked too tight, their smiles too wide, their eyes empty. They moved like broken marionettes, jerking and twisting. We froze. None of us dared move. Then one of them, my double, spoke. "Why did you leave me in the woods?" The voice was mine, perfect, identical. That's when we ran. We didn't look back, didn't stop. We just ran until the trees gave way to open ground, until we could see the glow of streetlights. We never spoke about it again. Not really. A few awkward jokes, nervous glances. But none of us dared go back. That was months ago. I wish I could say it ended there. But last night, I woke to the sound of someone calling my name from the backyard. It was my mother's voice, but she died 3 years ago. And when I looked out the window, I saw her face, smiling.